Drive Delhi right here, and the first time we tried to come on, we actually didn't. Quite a bit of a technical problem there, but now we are on air, and it's going to be the cricket discussion live on radio and also live online on the Circular Cricket page, Google Plus Hangout, also on www.radio1.in/Delhi. And well, I've got Karthik Murli joining me back, looking as ethnic as ever. Karthik, looking good.
Thanks a lot, Melvin. How's it been?
It's been pretty good, Karthik, and what a match. What a match once again. It was almost like a replica of the second ODI, the same heroes for India once again, and Virat Kohli taking India home. It was brilliant. I'm sure the Australians are wondering what happened again.
I think it's not only the Australians, the entire set of cricketing pundits would be wondering how easy is it to chase 350 nowadays.
Right.
There was a replica action replay, to be very honest, of Jaipur, and amazing. And I think it's amazing batting, and hardly anyone was tested.
Hardly anyone was tested, but well, the good thing for India is now it's 2-2 and we have a chance to win the series. But just like you said earlier, the way it's going, Australia won, India won, then Australia won again, India won. It looks like it's going to be Australia series.
Yeah, the way the pattern has panned out, I think it doesn't augur well tomorrow.
It doesn't augur well tomorrow, but we just have to wait and hope. And it's definitely turning out to be a brilliant series in spite of those two washed out games. And a lot more to talk about with Karthik Murli and also my special panel. We have a lot of people, so you should go to the online discussion right now. So go to the Google Plus Hangout Circular Cricket page. You could go to www.radio1.in/Delhi as well. And now we continue online, but more music coming up for you right here on Drive Delhi. So you stay tuned.
We'll be live in Bangalore in exactly 59 seconds.
Okay. All right. So this has been quite a... Okay, we're just going to say hi to everyone quickly in about 50 seconds. So Karthik Murli is here. We've got Jeff Lemon joining us again. Jeff, it's a little late back there.
Yes, a little late in the evening, but always worth staying up to have a chat with you, gentlemen.
Definitely. Look, definitely. And hi to Dilip Premchandran as well. Dilip, thank you for joining us once again.
Good evening, everyone. Pleasure to be here.
And to our cricket fans, we've got Imam. We've got Imam. Hello. Imam, hello.
Hi, Melvin. Hi, Karthik. Great to be here.
Hi, Imam. How are you?
And very good. Pleasure speaking to you, Karthik, for the first time.
The pleasure is ours.
Karthik from Bangalore. Hello.
Hi. How are you doing?
Doing great. And also Navneet, the Googler. Hi, Navneet.
Hello. Hey, Melvin. Hey, Karthik.
Hey, Navneet, what is the point of discussion today?
Okay,
I knew this was coming up.
5 seconds. 5 seconds.
Okay, 5 seconds. It's over to Bangalore.
94.3. 94.3.
You are listening to MJ Pijolsh.
A wonderful Friday evening. Cheltadira 94.3 Radio 1. Maximum music, maximum choice, as always, will continue. Well, everything else has taken a little standstill right now because, like I just mentioned, the discussion right now online and on air is all about the ongoing India-Australia series. And as always, joining me from the Delhi studios is our special guest, Karthik Murli. Good evening to you, Chief, and happy Dhanteras.
Good evening, Pijosh. Happy Dhanteras and happy Diwali to you.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day.
Is it tomorrow?
Yeah, today is Dhanteras and the weekend.
No, I'm saying, is it tomorrow, Diwali, down south?
Yes, it is. 3 days all the way, starting tomorrow all the way till Monday. 3 days of Diwali. Lots of crackers. I'll tell you what's going to be even more spectacular will be in India winning the game tomorrow. Because right now, looking outside the studio, we have a huge traffic jam. Why? Because everybody is heading to the stadium trying to get those last-minute tickets because the game is well poised. Now, I want to bring quickly your thoughts about tomorrow's game. If India wins the toss, what should India do?
I think they would like to bowl first again. Bangalore could have a bit of dew, high altitude. It's always been a high-scoring venue. So I think India would prefer chasing. No target is like a daunting target right now, the way the series has gone for both the teams. Easily chasing down or gunning down targets. So I think India, if it wins the toss, would definitely like to bat second.
All right, now I also got a huge list of panelists out here. We got Dilip from Wisden India and Jeff Lemon joining us from Australia. Jeff, I'd like to quickly bring you in right now. Do you think Australia is going to win the series?
I think perhaps their confidence might be slightly bruised after that second massive chase the other night. I'm feeling slightly empty, and I think maybe India has the chops to take it home from here.
All right. We're just going to wait and find out what's going to be happening tomorrow. Right now, the discussion continues online. You can join us on www.radio1.in/Bangalore at the live stream, or you can join us also on the Google Plus Hangout page. Look for Circle of Cricket. Right now, maximum music, maximum choice. We'll continue.
94.3.
All right, so let's get into the game and what happened. 350 for the second time, and India winning it once again. We wouldn't say quite easily. Jeff, I just want to bring you in here. The last time we just took 43 overs. This time it was a lot harder, but they finally got home.
Yeah, this one was quite interesting. I thought about 10 overs from the end, it looked like India were cruising and they were going to get there easily. And then Mitchell Johnson did really well just to drag Australia back into the match at the end there. And it actually became quite tight and tense. So there were just a couple of sloppy fours that got given away in the last couple of overs there that might have made a difference in the end. So, you know, they got there with 3 balls to spare, but just for a while, you know, when Yuvraj had the stumps wrapped, it was pretty exciting.
Absolutely. And Karthik, you know, they say lightning does not strike twice, but in this case it did. And it did in a big way, and the Australians are really feeling the pinch, aren't they?
Yeah, and I think the same 3 people struck it as well, so it's amazing. Look, every time I've been thinking about the scores, there was a time when an economy rate of 4.5 was supposed to be very good.
Right.
And then once the rules changed and the bats became bigger, it was 5.5. Now I think just like T20 cricket, one-day cricket, bowlers' economy rates of 6 to 7. With the way the new rules have come about, I think it's just changing the bar, and it's amazing. You feel sorry for the bowlers.
Absolutely. And Dilip, I just want to bring you in here. Quite a show by the Indians, but also a brilliant show by the Australians as well. I mean, I feel sorry for George Bailey. What an innings by him from the captain, and he's been phenomenal this series. But India looking good when it comes to chasing big runs with Virat Kohli the way he's going, and he's doing it time and time again.
Yeah, the batting from both sides has been phenomenal all series, but you know, I've got to a stage where I'm wondering whether it's a great game of cricket I'm watching anymore, because the balance between bat and ball has been totally lost, and I'm no fan of the new rules, especially in Indian conditions. If you don't have reverse swings, if you have the 2 new balls, it takes reverse swing out of the picture completely, and then the 4 fielders outside the circle as well. I mean, you might as well, you know, give them 3 hits every ball, because effectively that's what's happening.
All right, and also just want to bring in Karthik here, Karthik from Bangalore. Karthik, what did you think? Your thoughts on the game?
Well, I'm just starting to think if this Dew is actually your new, the 4th power play in a sense, given the amount of runs that get scored. So it's actually a little unfortunate that, you know, we're playing on such pitches where you know, runs are coming by it's like a torrent at the end, and it's very easy to chase down. So these games look a little unreal to me, very similar to how I felt, you know, looking at T20 when it started off.
Right.
So, but I would say Dew has always been there. Dew has always been a factor. But the thing is, the new rules have changed it. As Dilip said, you need the extra fielder outside, and sometimes you bowl good deliveries, and when you see them going for runs, you feel sorry for the bowlers, and it actually makes it very lopsided as a contest.
And in fact, even after India winning the match, Dhoni's comments also, he said pretty much the same thing. He's saying that we really need to sit and see where the game is going, with 350 not being safe anymore. So it's not like, I don't think the captains are really enjoying this too much. It's really not looking good. Where have they gone wrong? I just want to bring in Navneet here. Navneet, what do you think? Do you think there should be a little bit of changes in the rules again? Should the ICC look into this?
I think Karthik is very curious to know what I'm going to say. Karthik, actually, to answer your point, before I answer that, Melvin, Karthik, do you also think it's a lot to do with the pitches that we're playing on, considering pretty much every match in this series has been a flat tracker? Do you think if the pitches are more bowler friendly, the change in the rules is likely to be not as visible as it has been now? What do you think? Like, let's assume a bouncing pitch in Australia, bigger grounds. Do you think it's going to make a big difference, or I just want to hear your thoughts on that?
Look, again, the pitches and the dew have always been the same. Yes, if you want to bring in these rules, then there has to be something in the pitches for the bowler, whether it's the spinner or the seamer. But the fact that you're adding on the misery of the bowlers by giving them a flat track, and also it's like binding them from behind, their hands being tied, and sending them on a parade. It's one of those things. So it's not a question of the wickets alone. But I feel the rules per se have to be looked at. The wickets are fine. I don't have a problem with the wickets, because if you've got that extra fielder and when the ball goes there, at least it's a single or at least it's 2 runs. It's not a free hit or it's not a boundary. You suddenly see somebody not there when technically there have been fielders at those spots for such a long time.
Yeah, and to address your point, Melvin, I think definitely, like I said the last time, I think anything between 250 to 270, if we get tracks around that, it's always up for a good contest. So, but there's absolutely no balance that we see. It's good for entertainment, it's good for the crowd, yeah, but it's obviously not good when it comes to the balance between bat and ball.
Right, and I think Navdeep brought in a good point there. I think it's a lot to do with the pitches, because just like you said, and maybe in Australia and England on those pitches, the one-day games still seem to be pretty competitive. You have teams winning even after making 250 odd. So this is just on flat tracks. I think it's not too bad. Sometimes it's good to have a game or two like this, chasing down 350 with ease and looking at brilliant stroke play from people like Virat Kohli. What do you think, Dilip?
I'm afraid I don't agree, because I don't think the pitches have too much to do with this. Indian pitches have always been like this. But the thing is, I mean, in one-day cricket, bowlers are told bowl to your field. I mean, Karthik will back me up on this. But there is no field to bowl to now, because you've got just 2 men on the offside, 2 on the onside, and there's about a 60-meter arc that batsmen can target with impunity. I mean, even if you mishit it, if you're aiming for extra cover, it'll still go over long off the 6. And there's nobody there. So what's the bowler supposed to do? I honestly don't know what you can do as a captain and a bowler to stop this.
I tell you what we can do. We can possibly bowl underarm, possibly bring in the underarm rules again, or have a tunnel from the base of the stumps to the other stump, and it just goes there and comes up. I think that's what the bowlers can do. Well, or as I've always been saying, I've been saying this for quite a while now. There's going to come a time when there are only 2 bowling machines going to bowl from 2 ends.
2 bowling machines from 2 ends. It looks like the bowlers really have no role to play anymore. But Jeff, your thoughts on this? India won, but people are complaining. What's happening?
I think Navneet has made a really excellent point there. I don't necessarily think that having the restrictions on the fielding would be a problem if you had a good bowling pitch, and if you had a ball that the bowlers could use. The problem is in the 2 new balls, which are much easier to hit. But in those, if you were on a seaming wicket or a spinning wicket and you had an extra fieldsman inside the circle, that could add pressure to the batsman. The batsman will find it harder to hit big shots. He can't clear the infield so easily. That will actually choke his scoring, and it could really work against the batsman. But the bowler doesn't have any kind of chance to affect that pressure, because the pitch is easy. You have the 2 new balls, meaning there's no spin, there's no reverse swing, and so those batsmen are just able to hit out at will. But if you give them a proper pitch, I think that field could actually be a good attacking option for the fielding side to have the 5 men inside the circle.
All right. So, we also have to talk about Australia's performance here, 350, and they would consider themselves to be really unlucky. But a word on George Bailey. Jeff, do you think he's done enough to, find a place in the Australian side for the Ashes?
Well, I think we do have to be realistic about the ease of getting those runs on these easy pitches.
All right.
But at the same time, it's the way he's gone about it. It's the fact that he's been very calm, very composed. He's been very solid in the middle order. With Michael Clarke missing and George Bailey having to captain, that's a big ask for a part-time captain. And to come in and score as he's done, he's made 190 not out, 98 dismissed. He's made a huge 100, the biggest 100 by an Australian captain. having achieved those things, I think his demeanour is something which would actually really suit Australia in the middle order, batting maybe at number 4, letting Michael Clarke go to his favourite spot at number 5,
Right.
and then having Steve Smith at 6.
All right, and Imam, just to bring you in here, George Bailey, the most runs in the series by George Bailey, but still Virat Kohli really stealing the thunder.
Absolutely, and yeah, thank God that you can see me well, Melvin. I thought that I'm vanished for a while. There was some technical issue, but coming to George Bailey, I guess
don't worry.
I guess George Bailey has been one underrated cricketer, is what I would say, since the time he began his T20 career. I think he has a mature head on his shoulders, and it's very important to have that when you're captaining a side of so much of talent. And he is one kind of a Dhoni guy who prefers to being on the back seat when it comes to the limelight. He lets his team hog the limelight when they are doing good, and he takes the blame when they are not doing good. One quick point I want to make about this bowling thing. I have a slightly different point of view. I might be wrong, but I think somewhere, if there are 2 times the batting side scores 350 and 2 times it's been chased, somewhere the bowlers are not doing things right. You know, I don't think the restrictions are so bad that you can allow 350 or a 360 to be, chased.
Right, Imam, we're just going to get back to you,
Sure.
because we're just going to go live in 10 seconds. So we're just going to come back and you can finish your point.
Sure.
Yes, still on Drive Delhi. This is this is the discussion that we have on the India-Australia cricket series. 6 ODIs, but they only got to play 4, and it's 2-2 now. 1 more to go, and I'm guessing it's looking good for India. I still have Karthik Murali with me. Karthik, we've been discussing a lot of things that happened and how twice in the series chasing down 350 by the same team should not be happening, but it is happening now, and a genius in Virat Kohli. How good is this guy?
Look, I don't know whether you've heard me before, but the thing is that with Virat, the hunger shows. For a 24-year-old to show this kind of maturity, he's very skillful. Obviously, that goes beyond doubt, but his work ethic is what stands out, and his work ethic is very similar to all the greats we have had and all the greats we have had in other countries as well. When you see them practice and when you see them prepare the way they prepare, I think that shows him in a different class altogether. Be it his work ethic in the nets, his fielding drills, or whether it's off the field physical conditioning and what he eats and what he puts into his body is something special. So I think he's completely driven by success, and obviously he's got the goods to go along with it.
Absolutely, and it's looking really good. I mean, he's only 24 now, 17 ODI hundreds. Sachin's 49, looking a little, breakable by this man if he goes on for another 10 years.
We're talking about somebody who's sustained it for more than 20 years.
Yes.
People go through series where they're not able to sustain after one game. Sachin Tendulkar has sustained it for more than 20 years, and that's why he is what he is. So for us to compare Virat to Sachin, it's not right on either. Because Virat is a special talent. Sachin was completely different to what it is. Once Virat has played that many games, and possibly then you can possibly draw comparisons, not at the moment.
All right, but his self-confidence is definitely quite amazing. Do you think it's a Delhi thing, the self-confidence that Virat Kohli has?
Look, he's always been cocksure. He's always been that sort of a guy. Initially, when he came in, there was a bit of brashness about it. But there's a lot more settled thinking right now. You want a bit of self-confidence, or not bordering on arrogance, but as long as you know your skills and you know what you can do with your limitations, I think he has done that exceptionally well.
Absolutely, and if he keeps going like this, I don't think anyone will have a problem with whatever he does on the field. And, well, we have a lot more to find out, and of course this conversation will continue online as well. Just go to the Circular Cricket page on the Google Plus Hangout. You can also go to www.radio1.in, and we are discussing at length the India-Australia ODI series. More music coming up right now. You stay tuned. All right, yes, and Imam, you have your point to finish, yes.
Yeah, so what I was saying was, somewhere I think a lot of credit needs to be given to the batsman. I think the quality of batting has been outstanding. And just to quickly make a point about Virat Kohli, I think he should score as many as possible when he's going so well, because there will be a time where he will not be able to lay a bat on ball. I think when you're having a good form, good luck, I think you should make as much as possible. And coming back to the bowling, I guess Indian bowling, to be very honest, bluntly, has been ordinary. You had spells bowled by Mohammad Shami, which were brilliant. But again, if you look at the Indian bowling, I think there's nothing to write home about. So I think they giving 350 is okay. We can understand that. Even Australians, I think, Jeff, I want to check with you. Jamie Faulkner, he's one guy who always used to bowl line and length. But if you see, there is a lot of experiment which is going on in his bowling. That is what I've observed. His slower ball becomes effective when he uses it once in 2-3 overs. It's going on a lot at this moment. Same as Ashwin. So a lot of experiment. I think what the bowlers need to do is ball line and length. Yes, if you get hit after that, good luck. Well played. But if you're bowling rank bad deliveries every over with that additional fielder outside the circle, that is making matters worse. So that is why I feel the bowlers need to polish their game a bit, because at the advent of T20, they started bowling yorkers and they knew what to do in those 4 overs. Similar to that, something needs to be planned in the 50-over format as well.
Jeff, you want to answer to that?
Yeah, look, I think I'd agree. I think at the end there, James Faulkner was basically trying to bowl yorkers, but he just wasn't hitting the spot. That full toss that he bowled that was slashed away through backward point for 4 at a really crucial moment. That was an attempted yorker that just came out too full, I think. But there is definitely a tendency to go too much for the mystery ball or the change-up delivery instead of just hitting that yorker. But we've seen that with all of the bowlers really this series. And Ishant Sharma was one example you'll remember of just being unable to hit that yorker length.
Right, and but when it comes to the bowling, everyone was talking about how bad the Indian bowling was this series, but even the Australian bowling, considering India chased down 350 twice, I think it has a lot to do with the pitch and nothing else in the series. I don't think we should be too harsh on our bowlers.
Look, it's a combination of both. You cannot deny. What happens is that bowlers are the ones who get the flack the most, because at the end of the day, if you're constantly or consistently going for 300 plus runs, whether it's while defending or whether it's while setting, so it becomes tough on the bowlers. You're right with respect to the wickets haven't helped the bowlers.
Right.
And also the fact that I feel what it could be is the fact that you've got one fielder less, so the bowlers are always trying to experiment or to second guess the batsman, and in that process they're going for lots of runs.
All right, but a few other great performances. We spoke about Virat Kohli, but then Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit Sharma again turning out to be a pretty stable opening pair for Team India, at least in ODIs. Karthik from Bangalore, what would you say? This is the way to go, and maybe we should completely forget about Gautam Gambhir and Virendra Sehwag for the ODIs at least.
Well, I think they've been good batsmen that have served us for a long time, but the way Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit Sharma are batting, especially they're showing a lot of calmness. When you're at the start of the innings, and it's very important that you carry forward that form. Even if you're 125 or 130 after 25 overs, they still give you the chance, to be there. After that 30th over, to start accelerating. So they've done very well. I don't think Virendra Sehwag and Gautam Gambhir are anywhere near coming to the Indian team, except if you're looking at a tough tour to South Africa. But they've done well to clinch their place.
Absolutely. This whole isn't it a little unfair that when you're playing on easy conditions that you're used to, you give these guys a chance, and when you say, all right, we have a tough tour coming, let's get back Virendra Sehwag, let's get back some of the seniors. That just seems really unfair.
I think they're definitely going to be in the running, is what they're trying to say. But obviously, when somebody is not doing so well and someone else gets a chance, it's very difficult to time everything properly. It's unfortunate that when they've been playing on docile pitches or whatever you can call it, it's these guys have managed to clinch it. And also you have to remember that they've done well in Champions Trophy as well. The wickets were seeming there, then they went to West Indies and they've done well. And again, even in Zimbabwe. So it's not as if it's only on these pitches that these two have done well. They've been doing well in the recent past, and that's possibly the reason why they're opening.
All right, and we also have to talk about the bowling.
Live in Bangalore.
Josh, you said something?
5 seconds, Bangalore right now.
5 seconds, Bangalore, right. So
Radio 1 94.3 94.3.
You are listening to MJ Pajolsh.
And the discussion is all about the ongoing India-Australia series. Well, the 7th ODI is poised for a great finish tomorrow at Bengaluru. Now, quickly, I'd like to bring in Karthik right now. According to the weather predictions, there is thunderstorm expected at the ground. In fact, in Bangalore, 27 degrees predicted, and there's rainfall. What do you think is going to be happening? Do you think the rain gods are going to be playing the game instead of the players?
Please tell all those guys who are standing for tickets to come back. Then, if you're sure about the prediction, then we might have a two-all series decider, I guess. Ask Rakesh especially to come back if he has gone for tickets.
Strange thing, I just tried to call him, but he's not picking my calls right now. And question number 2 to you is, this series overall, if you look at it, 300 runs has been an average score by both the teams. Now, tomorrow, going into the final game, do you see any changes in the bowling attack, especially from India's point of view?
I think they've tried everyone in the bowling attack. Now, everybody has come and played, and I'm pretty sure that as I've been saying, MS Dhoni needs to go and check the levels of confidence, if there is a meter to check that, of all the bowlers who wants to put his hand up and wants to bowl. So I don't see any change in tomorrow's bowling lineup. Bijosh, I think it's going to be the same. As long as you can chase it down, it's a question of, or it's a fight of 2 batting teams rather than 2 bowling teams.
Well, you heard it from the man himself. Well, you can join this conversation online. All you got to do is look for the Circle of Cricket page on Google Plus Hangouts, or you can also log on to www.radio1.in/Bangalore. Hit the live stream button. Right now, the discussion continues online. Maximum Music, Maximum Choice continues right here on Radio 1.
Hi, this is Vipash.
Yes, well, it's looking pretty 2-2 in the series now. One last game to go, and just like Karthik and I were mentioning earlier, the pattern has been that, well, it looks like Australia may win the next one. I believe if you have to go by what has happened in the series, but India now with this big win, confident, and when they have their back against the wall, they generally do well. So you think India is going to take it home tomorrow, if the rain allows it?
I think apart from the confidence factor, I think the absence of Mitchell Johnson is going to be a big factor, because Johnson's been the standout bowler in this series without a doubt on both sides. He's one guy who, despite the runs that have been taken off him, has looked like he could actually take some wickets, and he has taken some wickets. He's troubled India's batsmen periodically. So without him, I really can't see how Australia will contain this Indian lineup on what I expect to be a pitch that's full of runs again. So I do think India will win this.
All right, Jeff, just coming to you. No Mitchell Johnson, then it's definitely India's game.
Yeah, look, that's a big one. We saw what Mitch Johnson can do the other night. He was lucky to get that initial wicket against Rayner, but that was just because he was bowling with such pace. He was getting the bouncer through him quickly enough that he could get that lucky wicket. And then the ball that got IndvsAus was phenomenal. A nice cutter that came into him and shattered the stumps. So he's going to be a big loss. But I think it really comes down to who bats first. I think if India have to bat first instead of total, they might feel a little bit unsure about how to approach that, because they've just been so good at chasing this series. That might just disrupt their concentration a bit. And Australia will be confident chasing after they chase down that 300-plus score with the James Faulkner cameo. So if India can chase, they'll be supremely confident they can get any score that we can put up. But if Australia chase, I think they're in with a very good chance.
Jeff, I want to ask you a question. With the series as nail-biting as it is and level at 2-2, why would you send back Mitchell Johnson? What is it going to do to him if he goes to Australia one day later? I saw some report saying that he's gone to prepare for the Ashes. What is he doing? Is he going to prepare a ground or something like that? Or preparing pitches? What does he have to go and do?
Yeah, he's got a part-time job as a groundskeeper, so he has to mow some grass, do some watering. It's very important stuff. No, he's been sent back so that he's in time to start in a Sheffield Shield match, which otherwise he would have missed the start of. So this way he can play 2 Shield matches before the Ashes starts, as opposed to just playing 1. And they really need Mitchell Johnson as an option now, because James Pattinson is out injured, Mitchell Starc is out injured, Patrick Cummins is out injured. Jackson Bird is out injured. So out of Australia's first choice, second choice, third choice, and fourth choice bowling, third bowlers, all those guys are missing. So Johnson is suddenly in the frame to make a test comeback because we don't have any other test bowlers available. So they went up and decided that was more important.
Sorry. I hope that he doesn't play 2 games and he's also not out injured then.
It would be disappointing if he did. I'd really like to see him there still with you guys to take on that one tomorrow night. But what do you think, Karthik? Like, what would you have preferred to happen if you were in his position?
Look, for me, if you're saying Australia comes first, and everybody's spoken about the fact that he's been a major difference in the 2 teams. Of all the bowlers, he's stood out. So in a crucial game where it is the decider, I would want my best bowler to be there. Okay, he could play 1 game less, or it could be managed in such a way that he comes 1 day late and plays the Sheffield Shield game and he can still play the game. But to miss out on 1 game, and that too when it's the decider, belies any logic for me.
Yeah, I think it's a crazy decision as well, and it's very disappointing given the way the match is poised. You know, if we'd already lost or won the series, fine, but like this to all such an exciting series, it's kind of tragic to be missing the most exciting bowler, the only exciting bowler we've had.
Exactly. ECB does that. They always see to it that their players can play 4-day cricket even if they come 1 day late to the game. Someone else fills for them and then they take their places. So that could have been easily done.
All right, but Jeff, now that Mitchell Johnson is having a look in for the Ashes, I think you will be worried. You never wanted him there in the Test side.
Look, as I said today on Twitter, that's 2 bad decisions. 1, they took him out of the 1-day series, and 2, they want to put him
in the Test side. All right, 2 bad decisions.
I just have a point to make here. To add to what Karthik said, the only possible weakling that I can think of in the batting lineup right now, because of just sheer form, is number 4 and 5, with Raina and Yuvraj failing in the last couple of occasions. And Johnson have set them up, literally set up Yuvraj even in the last game with 2 short balls, pitches 1 up, the 3rd one, and gets his off stump, right? And I find this decision very, very surprising that they sent him back home before a big game, because he was the only hope that could get the left-handers troubled again with the short ones. Raina and Yuvraj looking pretty uncertain on whether to go front or back on the short ones.
Melvin,
and this is amazing. Karthik and Navneet in agreement. That's never happened before.
No. Navneet agreed to Karthik.
You never know, actually. You know, it might be just that butter chicken that he ate extra.
Melvin, can I make a quick point?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, the thing is, Australian selectors now and then always prove that common sense is not so common. You need to have a bit of a mind. I think what I get as an Indian, as a pure fan, I would think this might be an excuse. If you lose the series, you say we do not have Mitchell Johnson. That's the only bowler who troubled India. But you yourself have asked him to go back to play Sheffield Shield game, for God's sake. That means you shouldn't have had the series with India, because if you're giving so much of priority to Ashes, then why to have a 7-match series or a 5-match series in India at this point of time? Having said that, BCCI is also joining hands with them. I think I don't have any reason. I don't know why. Karthik, I'm sure you might help me with this. The weaknesses of Australia. They came here for the Test matches. They lost 4-0. Why? Because the pitches, second day onwards, it was turning. It was turning huge. You have one-day international series, 7 matches. You want the crowds to come in. The first thing the crowd wants to see is the India win. So I don't know why no groundsman has tried to make a dry pitch and give, support the Indian bowlers, because your weakness is bowling and your strength is your batting. And I'm sure that if you go to Australia at this point, they will not give you dry wickets. They'll give you seaming wickets, with a lot of grass. So why do you think that the BCCI did not do anything in terms of helping our bowlers, which is a weak link?
Look, again, I can't answer that question. Possibly Dilip is in a better frame of, better know-how about these pitches and what the diktat goes to them. But I'm pretty sure that everybody wants, when it comes to 2020 cricket and one-day cricket, they want to see only runs scored. Nobody's bothered about whether it's going to be a contest or it's going to be an even contest. Even these rules have been made by batsmen sitting in committees and stuff like that. So, look, if we went for something like that, one-day cricket wouldn't be what it is. It's fine for Test cricket, but they always want good pitches for one-day cricket.
I mean, if I could just speak about the pitches, it's very hard to prepare dry pitches right after a monsoon. Most parts of India just had the monsoon. How do you make a pitch? I mean, you can't blow drag with a hairdryer.
I'll tell you, what happened, Dilip.
Yeah.
So what I saw, couple of matches, I saw groundsmen having, cover on the pitches just to ensure that it is, it does not have sunshine on it. I remember Jaipur track where they had, at the moment I saw a cover, I said, oh my God, no more rain. But I saw the weather to be sunny, and the reason which was given was that they didn't want the pitch to be so dry, and they watered the pitch 2 hours before the game. The Mohali track. So you're right in a way that we don't know how to make a dry track, but all we can understand is that it's very simple. You let the sun bake the pitch, don't do anything, and the rest will take care by itself.
All right, Imam, before anybody answers that, we just have to go live in 5 seconds, and then we'll be back. Yes, that was Lana Del Rey with Young and Beautiful, and it's still a very heated discussion on cricket. The series, India-Australia, it's looking very good. It's been well fought, a highly competitive series. 2-2, one more to go in Bengaluru tomorrow. And, well, this is Drive Delhi, and I still have Karthik Murli with me. Now, we were talking about some of the batsmen and the spectacular show by the batsmen, but two people in the Indian team that probably missed out was Suresh Raina and Yuvraj Singh. And there's this whole debate on number 4 and number 5. Now, my opinion is that I feel Yuvraj Singh is a little unlucky in the series, considering that he was being pushed to number 5. And I think he may have had a better shot at doing something more in the series if he was at number 4. But what's your take on this?
I think he started off really well in his comeback
T20
game in that T20 game, but after that, I think he's got some good deliveries, mind you. Got some really good deliveries up front, even before he set from Mitchell Johnson, and I think that's where the captain George Bailey has played a really good role. He has understood the fact that Raina and Yuvraj have been troubled by Mitchell Johnson, not necessarily because of his short pitch bowling. There are certain bowlers who always trouble you more than someone else. So I think as soon as they've come on, or they've come in, he's brought them on, and that's made a difference. And they've got good deliveries, to be very honest. And I think Suresh Raina yesterday was unlucky to be given out.
Unlucky to be given out, but Yuvraj Singh making such a good comeback in that T20 game, then getting a few games like this, and then suddenly everyone will be pointing fingers and saying, okay, so it's very unfortunate. And
true, unfortunately, that's how the beast works, and people forget what you've done. It's always you're as good as your last game. It's not a cliched statement for a few. So I hope that he has a good game tomorrow, so that at least he finishes on a high, and there are no fingers pointed at him.
All right, do you think Mahendra Singh Dhoni is going to give him the number 4 slot for the last game, maybe just to boost up the confidence?
By the looks of it,
not.
It seems to be Suresh Raina's spot, because he himself has categorically said, I don't know whether that puts any pressure on Yuvraj Singh. We don't know whether Yuvraj could be there for the next World Cup. So that possibly puts a bit of pressure on Yuvraj as well. It seems as if Suresh Raina is definitely going to
the World
Australia.
Cup. Definitely going to the World Cup, and Yuvraj probably not. And they all say that they're the best of pals, Yuvraj and Mahendra Singh Dhoni. I'm not too sure. But we can't really say much there. And well, we have to discuss a lot more, and this discussion will continue online as well. Remember, go to the Circular Cricket page on the Google Plus Hangout. You could also go to www.radio1.in/Delhi, and well, you can catch the discussion there with the rest of the panel. And now, with more music coming up, I've got the Guns N' Roses lined up in a bit with "You Could Be Mine." Yes, we were just talking about the two Indian batsmen who have not really done too well in the series, Suresh Raina and Yuvraj Singh. Karthik from Bangalore, what do you think Suresh Raina and Yuvraj Singh should do maybe in Game 7, which is tomorrow? Anything that could actually just make sure the confidence is back?
No, I don't think you could do any short-term measures against short pitch bowling. The only thing to do is, for them, they have to probably come into their zone, forget about whatever happened. See, there are players who look very ugly against short pitch bowling. Take, for example, Steve Waugh. When he fended a ball, he looked very ugly. Same with Saurav Ganguly. But they've made over 9,000 runs in Test match cricket. So I think it's about how you can take away the bad memories and focus on the present. And I don't think they should really look back to highlights or look at the video analysis to understand where in the pitch is the ball pitched. So I think, as Harsha pointed out on television, it is sometimes the fear of, okay, is this going to be a short ball? You're aware of it, the problem being a short ball, and you kind of succumb to it. So I think it's best for them not to think too much about it. Just go out there and perform. For all you know, you may not get a short pitch ball, and you're suddenly elevated if you scored a good 30-40 runs. So I don't think they should think about the short pitch delivery at all.
All right, so the problem is purely just the short pitch delivery for both the players, Raina and Yuvraj Singh.
You can't actually say that. It's just the way it's been mixed up. Nobody likes short pitch bowling, whether it's number one and consistently short, quick, short stuff. Nobody likes. It's just how you're able to overcome that. There are different ways of doing it. Everybody's got their own game plan and skill set to overcome that. And it's just that what Mitchell Johnson has done is that he's used those deliveries really well with the other deliveries. The ones which have got the wicket have not been short pitch deliveries, except for on a few occasions where he got Suresh Raina fending. Otherwise, they've been really good deliveries.
They've been really good deliveries. All right, and just a word on the Indian bowler, Mohammad Shami. Not too many wickets, but that one wicket of Shane Watson was quite brilliant, wasn't it?
Especially after having been hit for 4 fours or 3 fours, I think, in that over, and then to come back really strongly. And that was the mode of dismissal even in the previous game.
Right.
So, yeah, Shami is a good prospect. And sometimes you want ticker when you're getting hit and when you know that the conditions are not in your favor. You just need somebody mentally strong, and that wicket actually showed that he has got some ticker.
Right. And Navneet, Mohammad Shami looking pretty good for India, a future prospect? Or is Navneet missing? I think Navneet is missing. He's not around. No. All right, I'll just take this question to Dilip. Dilip is muted.
The background noise, there's a party going on outside. But no, I think Shami looks the part. I mean, it took a great deal of courage to pitch the ball up after the way they'd gone after him. And I think at times, Amit Mishra, the way he started, I was really impressed with the way he started. But it's just the way the fielding restrictions are right now. You go for a couple of boundaries and your confidence deflates so quickly, then like Karthik said, you start second-guessing yourself, not just the batsman, and then your plans go completely awry. I thought he started really well, Mishra.
All right, and yes, Imam, you have a word to say?
Yeah, I think with regards to Yuvraj and Raina, I think we are reading too much into it, is what I would say. Both of them are class players; they are proven performers. I think what they need to do is watch the game from the non-strikers and in the initial stages. The best way to do it is because they are not getting to spend time at the crease, and that's what making things really difficult for them. And as far as their short pitch bowling goes, I think Australia have given them Diwali gift. The fact that they are playing so much of IPL, they understand Indian festivals. They have asked Johnson to go back so early. So I guess that's the first step.
You're taking that pretty personally, aren't you, Imam? You're taking that pretty personally.
No, I'm not taking it personally. I'm happy.
We're going to cut you off live in Bangalore in 5 seconds.
Sure.
Okay, live in Bangalore in 5 seconds, and we'll get back to Mitchell Johnson.
94.3. 94.3.
You are listening to MJ Pijolsh.
And I'm keeping you company on this lovely funky Friday where the discussion is all about the ongoing India-Australia series. Match number 7 that's going to be happening right here in Nama, Bengaluru. And right now, all the way from the Delhi studios is Karthik Murli joining us from the Google Plus Circle of Cricket page. Right now, I want to bring in your predictions for tomorrow's game. Who is going to win? Simple.
No, first tell me the weather prediction and then I'll give you my prediction.
Thunderstorm, thunderstorm, thunderstorm.
So how do you expect anyone to win then if there's a thunderstorm?
If the rain god decide, okay, let's have a game then.
India. Definitely India, because I'm pretty sure that Bangalore is a track where Indians have done well and they fancy themselves to possibly, and also, mind you, they need to win the toss and bowl first. So I just hope that works, and then everything will be fine. India will definitely run away with the trophy.
Murli says the toss is going to decide. Jeff, I'd like to quickly bring you in. What do you think?
Definitely agree. The toss decides the winner. India would love to chase, but if Australia can make them set a total, they're going to lose their minds. They don't even know how to do it anymore. They've forgotten. They haven't done it in so long. They'll freak out. They'll panic. They'll set about 112 and we'll mow it down in 6-0.
Oh my goodness.
6-0. Inspired by Virat Kohli.
Fantastic.
Now look, everybody needs to prepare for the Ashes, so they need to mow it down in 6-0.
Philip, your prediction for tomorrow's game?
I think an Indian win. I think, especially with Johnson not playing, I think India will win fairly comfortably tomorrow.
All right, fantastic. So here you go. You heard it from all the eminent panelists. Well, we just have to wait and watch what's going to be happening tomorrow. The action kicks off in the afternoon. Well, thank you so much once again, Murli, Jeff, Dilip. Thank you for the whole bunch of fans. And once again, thanks so much to Melvin for joining us. Well, right now, the discussion continues online. Log on to Google Plus Hangouts. Look for the Circle of Cricket page or www.radio1.in/Bangalore. Hit the live stream button. Maximum music, maximum choice right here on Radio 1.
94.
All right, Jeff. I think all of us. I think we all heard that Australia pulled Mitchell Johnson out of the series and saying no, the Ashes is more important than this. Jeff, come on, how could you?
No, I don't want it to happen. I want him bowling tomorrow. I want him bowling at 155 at guys' heads, making them jump around. Yuvraj can make some runs tomorrow if Johnson's not there, but Johnson's been all over in this series, so. That's what I want to see. I want to see the guy terrify some people in a form of cricket that he can actually play well.
All right. So, Imam, I think we can just let Jeff go on this. I mean, he's cool. It's just the rest of the Australians, yeah.
Absolutely, and I think we will never mind Melvin. I think I as an Indian fan will love to see Australian team without a Johnson. But being a cricket fan, I would have loved to see Mitchell Johnson bowling tomorrow and Yuvraj smacking him over mid-wicket for a 6, because tomorrow if you see Yuvraj Singh's record at Bangalore is really good and his comeback games have been in Bangalore. The good performances in the Bangalore ground has brought him into this Indian team, and I guess if Mitchell Johnson would have played tomorrow, I think he would have had a fantastic contest. I still think that we'll have a great contest. I don't think the weather will intervene because it's been a hard-fought series and we will not want it to end it this way. And tomorrow, for a change, I think the team which bats first might win the game tomorrow because of the pressure scenario, and Australians have not been into this kind of a situation. So I guess if India bats first also, I still give them a chance of winning this match and the series.
All right, winning the match, and we just have to hear from Karthik from Bangalore also now on your prediction for the game, Karthik, tomorrow. Who do you think it's going to be?
Yeah, the last time I was in the show and you took a digger, who will win the game? I said Australia, and then we discovered Ishant Sharma's, magical prowess. So I'm gunning for Australia again. I think the side is very similar to the 1986-87 side, which was losing a lot of matches, but then came back very strongly because then they backed a very mediocre set of players who then turned out to be Craig McDermott, David Boone, and the likes. So I think right now this team is molding into something bigger. So I think Australia will win this series.
They'll win the Ashes, Karthik. Tomorrow
I think also the fact they're all going for Australia because they've been reading the pattern of this series. So everybody is going for Australia.
Yeah, the pattern of the series, then it's definitely Australia. But, hoping for an Indian win for sure. And just quickly before we end it, the team for the West Indies tour has been chosen. And there's no Zahir Khan. There is no Virendra Sehwag. But Ishant Sharma finds his place. How does that happen? This has to be the biggest mistake that the selectors have done for a while.
I was actually a bit disappointed as well not to see Zahir's name there, and especially given the fact that he's possibly done what they wanted to see out of him.
Right.
He's worked hard on his fitness and then come back and taken 2 back-to-back 5-wicket hauls. So I was thinking that he might get the nod ahead of anyone else, and he's just five wickets short of 300 wickets as well, which is a brilliant milestone.
Right.
That was not to be. Virendra Sehwag, again, I don't know what they want out of him. Obviously, he didn't get many runs in the Challenger or the A Series, so possibly that might have gone against him.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if Zahir hasn't been picked, then Ishant was going to stay in the team.
Was going to stay in the team. Dilip, just to bring you in here, Ishant Sharma back and Zahir not given a nod. I mean, Dhoni had called Zahir Khan the Sachin Tendulkar of bowling once, and he's been performing pretty well. He's been performing pretty well in the in the tournaments that he's been doing. So I think he definitely should have got a place ahead of Ishant Sharma for the West Indies tour.
I wouldn't pick out Ishant alone. I just think the pace attack that's been picked for this West Indies series, with the same 4 guys go to South Africa, India going to get caned. Without Zahir's experience in South Africa, there is no chance. None at all. I mean, you need a guy who's been there. I mean, Kingsmead and the Wanderers especially, it's very easy for a young fast bowler to get carried away. They'll see some grass on the pitch, they won't know what length to bowl. It really, really needs somebody like Zahir to mentor that group of bowlers, and I'd be very surprised if he's not on the plane.
All right, and Jeff, I'm sure you're more surprised about Ishant Sharma still being there in the team. Again.
I'd like to say amused rather than surprised. I've gone through Ishant Sharma's stats, and I can't really find any good matches that he ever bowled in his whole career. So I'm not sure if he's just been hypnotizing you guys or something with maybe with the hair and the beard. He's just playing a magic trick on all of India and making them think he can bowl. But he's a mystery, a great mystery. He's the bowling.
That was okay. I just want to bring Karthik from Bangalore. Karthik, your thoughts on Ishant Sharma finding a place?
Yeah, I just had a look at some of his stats as Jeff was mentioning. Ishant last took a 3-wicket haul a couple of years back. So I don't think Ishant Sharma's place in the side is really warranted. But those are very valid points made by Dilip. I think what I think is that for someone like Zahir, whenever you feel he's going to be the bowler to back you, he gets injured. So the BCCI is probably wanting to be very sure. Are we seeing a flash in the pan performance? He's bowled well in the Haryana Ranji game as well as the other game that was at Shimoga against the West Indies A team. They probably want to see him for a couple of more matches. He will certainly be there for the South African series. I think for the West Indies series, they just don't want to give it him so early. But picking Ishant
if you think he's going to come for the South Africa series, don't you think he should get a look in for the West Indies series just to give him a bit of a warm-up, if you want to call it that?
I think they want him to be at his peak form. The warm-up can probably be at another Ranji game. For some reason, I think the dependence on spinners will be higher in the matches in Kolkata as well as in Bombay. So they're not very. They don't want to play Zahir in immediately. They'll probably give him a look in if he's in better form, he's taking more wickets. Then they'll make him to go to South Africa.
All right, fair enough. No Zahir Khan, and Ishant Sharma finds his place yet again. And on that note, I think we're going to end this discussion on the Hangout as well. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us again. Dilip, it's been a pleasure.
My pleasure. Nice.
And Jeff. All right, thanks, Dilip and Jeff Lemon from Australia. You were highly entertaining today, Jeff.
Well, that's what happens when you get me sleep deprived. I become delirious and just start.
You got to blame Karthik for that.
You can't blame me for that. I've been sitting in traffic for the last 3 hours to get to. Right. I've crossed 2 states to come to where you are.
2 states, exactly. Yeah, that happens a lot in India.
I would like to thank all of the Kartiks who are here today. And also to thank Melbourne and Piyush and Dilip for being here over the series. And Imam, nice to talk to you today.
Thank you so much. Same here.
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you, Imam. And I hope it's sunk in that Mitchell Johnson is leaving. He's not going to be there. I hope it's okay. I hope you're going to get a good night's sleep tonight.
Absolutely, and I will get. I'm hoping for. I don't think I'll get sleep tonight before the match tomorrow. I hope we got the news of the rain, but as I said, this series we will have a result, and India will win it tomorrow.
All right, fair enough. And Karthik from Bangalore, as always, you've enlightened us quite a bit today. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure, and I wish everyone on the show happy Diwali and happy Halloween if you're celebrating that in Australia, Jeff.
Thank you.
I think that's why they wanted him back in Australia for Halloween.
He's a terrifying man.
Status could be scary. All right, and also Piyush from Bangalore, thank you, and please do a little prayer for all of us and make sure the rains don't come pouring down.
I will. All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen. And Rakesh, there you go. Come in quickly. It's time to sign off right now.
Murli, I'm so sorry. I was actually at the stadium down the road because tomorrow there's a match, and I was kind of figuring out my passes there.
Is it
You could have
raining
called me.
there,
I
Rakesh?
could have got you a couple of passes.
Oh man, look at that.
That's true.
No, I'm
That's
just
what we.
saying just for the heck of it. I don't know anyone.
Is it
Well,
raining
all
there,
that-
Rakesh?
Yes?
Is it raining now?
No, not at all.
Then it will not rain tomorrow.
All right, fair enough. Thank you so much,
Everybody, happy
boys
Diwali.
from Bangalore.
Happy Diwali, everyone.
Happy Diwali to everyone. And Karthik, once again, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, simulcast. And yes, it's going to be out from all of us. Happy Diwali to everyone. It's goodbye.